All right, so here's some practice tests, ladies and gentlemen. So on the first one, it says classify triangle ABC by its sides and angles. All right, so remember, on this here, we can look at it and we can say, well, this distance right here is 3. Now, it's nice if it's already on our XY plane. And this one here, you should be able to see is 4. So the only one that we would have to use the distance formula on is that one right there, just to make sure. All right, but I can tell you right now, one of the things we should remember is that the hypotenuse is always the longest side. Of a triangle. All right, that'll become important for us still later on. But again, just in case you weren't sure, remember we can say that the length of BC is equal to, again, let's call this one here x1, y1, this one here x2, y2. So by the distance formula, it's going to be y2 minus y1, or 5 minus 1 quantity squared, plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. So 1 minus 4 quantity squared. All right. So if we do that, we'll get 5 minus 1 is 4 squared. We'll have 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. That negative 3 is being squared. All right. So if we work that out, 4 squared is 16. 3 squared is 9. Add them together, it's 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So we know that that length is 5 there. All right, again, we'll see later on that that's called a special right triangle at 3, 4, 5, which will be very important for us. All right, so right now we can at least notice that all the sides are different. So we know it's going to be scalene. Now we have to know, is it an acute angle, acute triangle, a right triangle, or an obtuse triangle? So I will say this, it looks like a right angle. Okay, so that one looks right. And if it wasn't the x coordinate and the y coordinate, I would say, again, you should use the, see that their slopes are negative reciprocals. But on this one right here from Algebra 1, you know that a vertical line and a horizontal line are perpendicular. So if they're perpendicular, we know that that means that they meet at a right angle, which they do right there. Because again, this one here is your vertical line. This here is your horizontal line. So we know it also has to be a right triangle. Remember, there's 2 answers on that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, number 2, find the measure of angle LKM. So this one here seems to be one of the most missed problems, ladies and gentlemen, and it's one of the easiest. So this is your exterior angle. We know that our exterior angle is equal to the sum of the remote interior, opposite interior, non-adjacent interior, because remember this one here would be adjacent to the one we're looking at. So I just told you 3 different ways. Just take that and add it to the other 2 there. So we'll have 3x minus 70 is equal to x plus 60. So now we're just going to move this x over to the other side, so we'll get 2x minus 70 is equal to 60. We'll get 2x is equal to, I'm going to add that 70 to 130, and then I'm going to divide by 2, so I'll get x is equal to 65. Now stop there, because again, it's asking us to find the measure of the angle. So we need this angle right here, all right? So that means to find the measure of angle LKM, I'll take our 3 times our answer for x, which is 65, and we're going to subtract 70 from that. So 3 times 65 is 195, minus 70, that'll equal 125, and that is our answer. Okay, I already have the degree symbol there, so you don't need to put it there. Okay, number 3 is exactly just like what we just did here. So again, on this one here, I can say that, again, there's my 1, 9x minus 5 is equal to the sum of those two there. So it'll be 4x plus 5 plus 65, or 9x minus 5 is equal to 4x plus 70. Let's see, why don't I I'll subtract that 4x, so that'll give me 9 minus 4x, which is 5x, is equal to, I'll add that 5, I can do it in my head, both sides. And then when I divide 75 by 5, I'll get that x is equal to 15. Again, that's not what they wanted. They want the measure of angle BCD. So I'll take 9 times 15, and I'll subtract 5. So 9 times 15 is 135, minus 5. That'll give us 130 degrees. So that's 130 there. Again, I don't have to put 30. Okay. Now it says identify all pairs of congruent corresponding angles. So again, on this here, ladies and gentlemen, you just got to look at which ones are marked the same. And I know you're going to have to drag and drop them. So here's angle A. Which one has the same marking as angle A? You would tell me that one right there. So we know then that angle F is congruent to angle A. All right, same kind of thing here. B and E, and D and C. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing when you're looking at the sides on the next problem. So again, this one here is marked with M1. What's the one that is marked the same? EF. So again, which one is it? AB and EF. So that would be this one right here. And again, they might have BA. You're just going to have to sit there and make sure. But it's the only one that's marked the same with 1 tick mark. This one's marked with 2 tick marks, and this one's marked with 2 tick marks. So that would be, what, ED and BC? And then since they only gave us 3, by process of elimination, the last one has to go down. Okay? All right. So on this one right here, it says the sum of the interior angles of each polygon is 360 degrees. Well, that makes important sense to us. In the diagram, DEFG is congruent to SPQR. Find the values of X and Y. So on this one right here, we have DE. So that would be right here. And which one is the same as that? SP. So that would be that one right there. So we can say then that X and 2, so X has to equal 2. All right, that one was pretty simple. Okay. Let's look at the angles now. Angle D is the same as angle S, right? So then we can write this as 2y plus 26. All right, angle E and angle P. Angle E and angle P. Well, that tells us then that, well, this one here would be 103. All right, but let's only worry about it on one. All right, so then the only other one that we don't have here is angle F. So angle F and angle what are the same? Angle F is right here, so that would be angle Q, and angle Q is 2y plus 10. All right, so now we've got this whole one filled out, so we can say on that one there, we can say that 2y plus 26 plus 103 plus 2y plus 26, 2y plus 10, sorry, and plus 81 is equal to 360 degrees. Sorry there, I ran out of room there. I wrote smaller on my paper. So again, here's 2y and 2y, so I'll have 4y. And then 26 plus 103 plus 10 plus 81, that will give us 220. And again, they just told us up above that the interior angles of each polygon is 360 degrees. All right, so then we know that for y, if I subtract 220, I'll get 140. And when I divide by 4, I'll get that y is equal to 35. So that's my answer for that one right there. Okay? So on number 7, it says, find the measure of angle RTS. So RTS. This is the angle that you're going to want to find. So let's look here. Since Q, if I look at just this triangle here, all right, I can say that this angle here is 30 because it's the same as this one right here. I can say that this one here is 60. And again, look at my triangle. I'll even use another color for you. Here, let's use a pukey brown. All right. So now we know that the sum of the angles of a triangle is always 180. So we can say that the measure angle RTS is equal to 180 minus 60 minus 30, which is equal to 180 minus 90, or 90 degrees. So this one here is 90 degrees, which you would have told me how it looks like it, doesn't it? And I would have said, you are so right. Okay, in number 8, it says in triangle QRS, SR is the length of SR is congruent to the length of SQ. Name the two congruent angles. Now remember, the congruent angles are the ones that are opposite the sides. So on this one here, again, I went from the side and I went to the angle opposite it. So on this one here, then we can say that angle Q is congruent to angle R. Let's change from the pukey brown. So let's go to green. Right, find the value of X. So on this one right here, you know that all the sides are the same. So since all the sides are, since it's equilateral, we know it's also equiangular. If it's equiangular, that means that all 180 divided by 3 is 60. So we know that that angle there, we can say that 4x is equal to 60 degrees. Or if I divide by 4, I'll get that x is equal to 15. Okay, number 10, find the values of x and y in the diagram. Well, again, on this one here, this triangle right here, all of those are the same. So that means that all of the sides are the same. So you can tell me that y plus 2 is equal to 4. Or if we subtract 2, we'll get that y is equal to 2. There's nothing that says I have to solve for x first, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now, again, look at this, these two angles here. So since they are the same, you know that the opposite sides have to be the same because it's an isosceles triangle. So you can tell me that y plus 2 is equal to x plus 1, but you just told me from above that y is equal to 2. So we'll get that x plus 1 is equal to 4, or x is equal to 3. Let's see on this one here, number 11, which congruence theorem, if any? Remember, I need 3 pieces unless it's hypotenuse leg, which would, I still kind of need 3 pieces because it would be a right angle. All right, so on this one right here, if I took the triangles apart, you would at least tell me that angle A is congruent to angle C, and you would be able to tell me that BD is equal to itself by the reflexive property. I keep telling you that's an important one. But so that only gives us 2 pieces of information. We actually need 3, unless it's hypotenuse leg, but I don't see a right angle given anywhere. So your answer on this one has to be not enough information. Okay? Let's see here. On this one here, which congruence theorem, if any, can be used to prove that the triangles are congruent? So let's see here. Since we know that BC is parallel to AD, that would be the line segments. Remember what I've said before. Once they're parallel, we're looking for C, Z, or F angles. All right. So if we do that, we know that that angle and that angle are congruent. So we can say then the angle CBD is congruent to angle ADB by alternate interior angles. So if alternate interior angles are congruent, then we know that BD is congruent to BD. Again, I told you by the reflexive property. So now follow the path that we have here. All right, so let's see here. Again, I just go on a triangle. If I look here, I have an angle here, I have an angle here, and I have a side. All right, so I went one arc, 2 arcs, and then I made it 2 tick marks. I don't know why I didn't make it 1, but anyways, what do I have there? I have angle, side. And maybe I better make that red for you. Okay, number 13, your friend says that enough information is given to prove that x is equal to 20. Is your friend correct? Well, we have a side here that we say is 20. This one we're not sure of, but we do have this length here and this length here are the same. Okay? And remember, we know that vertical angles are congruent. So again, follow a path. If I started here and went this way, you would tell me I have side, angle, angle. Well, we don't have that, but we know it's angle, angle, side, right? So you would be able to say yes, and you can prove that x is equal to 20. Because again, we had angle, angle, side. Okay, on 14, which triangles are congruent? So again, if we look at this one here, I have angle, angle, side. I have an angle, angle, side marked. So we can say that one. On this one here, we have an angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So we can mark this one here. Okay. On this one here, we have, again, that one's not marked up above, but we do have angle, angle, side. So we can also say this one here. The only one we can't say is this one right here because this is not marked as a right triangle, as a right angle. So no on this one. Okay. All right. Look at these again. We should be able to start seeing this here, ladies and gentlemen. On this one here, I have an angle mark with one arc. I have a side and I have one mark too. If I follow it in either way, I'll have angle, side, angle. So here I would have angle, side, angle. They're marked the same. What did I just say twice? Angle, side, angle. Okay. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck on this. I'm serious. Okay. Follow this. You should be able to do well on the test. Okay.